Mahmoud Habib remembers the day he first met Benjamin Phillips outside what was then a Tucson mosque. All that remains today are the words, "Happiness is submission to God." This is where the controversial Muslim group, the Submitters, gathered to pray.
I want to show you the color of it.
At his home, Habib unwraps a copy of Dr. Rashid Khalifa's version of the Quran. Police say the self-proclaimed messenger of God's controversial interpretation of his faith made him some enemies.
As we progressed through the interviews, it came out that he, Mr. Khalifa, had been reinterpreting the Quran based on a number system, and it upset a lot of people. And a lot of people from other countries, and he had been getting death threats from different sources.
The threats were really getting too much.
Habib was so concerned he bought a .22 caliber pistol for his embattled spiritual leader. That gun was found lying underneath Khalifa's lifeless body in the kitchen area of the mosque. Khalifa had been stabbed 29 times in the heart, lungs, stomach, and neck.
There was so much blood, at the scene, and it appeared right away like this person had been stabbed multiple times.
Khalifa's body had been doused with a flammable liquid and burners on a gas stove left on. Police speculate that was in the hopes a fire would destroy any evidence of murder.
We did our investigation, and after a certain time, narrowed it down, it seemed like, to one person.
He told me that his name was Ben Phillips.
That Benjamin Phillips was the man Habib had befriended outside the mosque 3 weeks before the killing.
I didn't have any suspicion at all on him, because we were very friendly to everyone. Our message is message of peace and love and welcoming.
FBI agents and local police launched a global manhunt to search for the killer. But the trail went cold until science caught up with a man living in Calgary, 54-year-old Glenn Cuthbert Francis.
And thank God for DNA, because without DNA, this case would have never been made.
That all comes down to whether Glenn Francis can be linked to the crime scene and linked to Ben Phillips. His lawyers call the links unreliable. At an extradition hearing, court heard a myriad of names and aliases. In 2006, Tucson's newly formed cold case unit jump-started the search for Khalifa's killer. Police believe Glenn Francis of Calgary can be linked by fingerprints and DNA to the crime scene.
The DNA that you all have in Canada is a match to what we have here in the United States as a known sample for the same person. So that's one connection. In addition, since Mr. Francis has been in custody in Canada, his fingerprints have been taken again, and those fingerprints have been compared to the known fingerprints that were taken in 1994, which were already a match to the apartment here in Tucson, and again the fingerprints match. So that's why we believe that this is the same person.
Back at the Submitters' new mosque, the faithful gather for noon prayers, still looking for answers about their imam's death, still confident justice will be served.
It was an assassination, and the truth will come out. It's very frustrating, but we do believe that judgment will come soon, even if it takes 100 years.